What's going on YouTube? Brooklyn Beast back here again. Here to finalize the transmission and finalizing some of the pieces that's going to help you and engage in the 2-speed once you do finalize a centax clutch. So basically what you have to do is get a Dremel, this piece right here, and you will have to Dremel out inside of here so that you can fit a bigger clutch spring. So the first spring here is a stock spring, ntc3. This one is going to be a Mugen, and this one is going to be a Serpent. This is the packaging that it comes in. This is the Mugen. This is the Serpent. The one that I highly recommend to use is the Mugen because it's less modification you will have to do, and it's basically a drop-in. Once you Dremel both clutch shoes, the Mugen spring falls right in. You don't need any modification after that. This has the same diameter as the stock spring screw, where you just put it back together, no issues. If you go with the Serpent, you're going to have to bend the end of the coil and make it a tighter tolerance or a smaller space so that the spring would not, the screw would not sink into the spring. And what I mean by that is, if you look closely at the very end, you can see that the diameter is tightened. It has been bent in to fit the screw. This is the other side. The reason why I go with the Mugen is because they're more abundant. You can find them anywhere, and just simpler, no modifications. Just drop right in. Once you drill these out and Dremel them out, clean them up, make sure that they're smooth. All you have to do is just screw everything back together, and that's all you need. Now, getting back to the centax clutch, because I seem to be getting a lot of questions about it. The simplest way to get a centax clutch for the ntc3 is either you buy one on eBay that's fully complete for the TC3, that is very harder to find, or you go the route that I did and you modify another clutch to make it fit. They have some people in the comments that needed some information. The easiest way to go is to go to eBay, type in Offner GPX4 centax or Offner GPX4 centax clutch, and there's going to be a seller. His store is Hung Nor. He has them for $63. When you buy that clutch, you can't put it directly on the TC3 because the gears do not match. If you want to use those pinions that clutch comes with, you're going to have to change your gears to Offner gears. You have to modify the gears to fit the stock TC3 transmission, and that's all you will need. You might need a machinist or something if you have any type of machine that you can use to set the diameters so it could fit on there. Other than that, if you're using a stock TC3 transmission, you're going to have to get a 30mm clutch bell that can fit ntc3 gears or ntc3 pinions. And the pinions, you have to buy pinions that are K Factory K1215. That's the code for the centax clutch, because if you don't buy K1215 pinions, they're not going to work. So getting back to the Offner GPX4 clutch, there's some pieces that you can't use if you're going to use a stock ntc3 transmission. You can't use the clutch bell, you can't use the pinions, and you cannot use the spring nut. The reason why I tell people to get the GPX4 clutch is because most of the pieces that you need for the clutch that I have on my car currently comes with that clutch. It is the flywheel, flyweights, pressure plate, clutch shoe, clutch spring holder or spring cup, the spring. You will need to get a Team Black Magic or G4S clutch or flywheel nut, and you will need to get a K Factory nut, clutch nut, which I've showed you in previous videos, to run the setup that I'm currently running. The hardest part to find for this clutch is going to be the clutch bell. If you can find one for the ntc3 30mm style, buy it. Sometimes they pop up on eBay. You have to do a little bit more searching from other people, other stores, and that is the hardest part to get. Once you find that, that's basically a full clutch. Now there's a couple sellers on eBay. I don't know all the names. You will have to search, but Hongnor has the GPX4 clutch that you need the parts for, and it's $63. The pinions, they're spread out through many different sellers on eBay. Once you type in K1215 on eBay, you'll be able to see some of them pop up. And if you need any help, just leave a message and I'll try my best to try to find a seller that's currently having the parts to make it easier for you. I'm not going to sit here and go through and list a whole bunch of sellers for people who's not even viewing my videos. If you're viewing my videos and you need the help, please leave a comment down and I'll try my best to help you. Now getting back to this clutch or the clutch springs, you put it together the same way how you took it apart. And this is basically a drop-in part. It's very simple. It's not technical at all. And if you need help doing this, the size of this is probably about like 10 millimeters. The gap is probably going to be, matter of fact, less than that. Like no, that's not even 10 millimeters. What am I talking about? That's probably about like 6 millimeters. But all you have to do is match a Dremel tool like this to the size of the spring, and that will indicate how much you will need to take off in here to make one of these fit. And that's basically it. Any questions, please leave a comment. I'll try my best to help you. Brooklyn Beast. So this is what it should look like when you use the Mugen springs. I went and I bent the ends in a little bit closer just to be on the safer side. You know, the clutch operates at high temperature, very high RPM. This thing is going to spin very fast. So you know what I did, went ahead and I bent the springs in a little bit at the end. But you can see I'm still using the stock TC3 screws for it. And you see how it fits now. This clutch was actually Dremel to fit the Serpent, but I went with Mugen. So there's a little free slack inside of there. That's not going to do anything. Once they're strong enough to hold, way strong enough to hold a 2-speed more than this little guy right here. So this is the end product. You just put your transmission back together the way how you took it apart. And this is guaranteed to work. I've done it many times before. And I use this method of drilling and bending, or you see the video. And yeah, just put it back together, you drop it in, and if you do have a centax already set up, or you can go drive and test it out, and you could start tuning the transmission for the engagement. Either you want a longer first gear or you want a shorter first gear. And there is currently a seller on eBay that has 2 TC3 clutches. He's in Israel. Once you find the page, you find the link. Once you see the location is in Israel. Can't remember the seller's name, but I know you pay a lot for shipping. It's about $150 for the clutch. If you don't want to search, go ahead and buy it. is worth the money, because you're going to spend about the same amount of money. If you not actually, no, you might spend a little bit less, but it's just easier. You just drop the clutch right in, you put it on your motor with the stock ntc3 engine mounts. You do this to help the engagement, and you're ready to rock. So thank for all the subscribers that watch my videos, like my videos, and any questions, just please leave a comment. I'll try my best to get back to you. And yeah, Brooklyn Beast, ntc3 2019 build. We'll be hitting the track soon.